Hey, what's up, guys? So I have a little bit of time today. I figured I would do a live, which I haven't done in a while. What's going on? This is going to be in the way, but there's nothing I can do. All right, so this little guy I actually have been working on for quite a while. Actually, let me save it. I don't think I saved it at all. Fat B. Shout out to Taramin Art. Did this cute little character down here, and I just decided, why not? That'd be cool to make in 3D. I'm also going to start doing some step-by-step tutorials, making things like this, but I started him at work. And what I actually did was I took a bunch of screenshots. So I'm going to, actually, where are they? Yeah, so I think I'm going to try to figure out a way to do sort of a step-by-step, but I took screenshots of each step along the way, like sphere, and trimmed the bottom, and then added the spheres, added these spheres for the wings, added these and stretched the spheres out for these little things. So things like that. So I sort of it's my buddy Alan, my food, crafty. So, and these are for the wings and things like that. So I took a photo every step along the way. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate that in the tutorial, but I think that might be useful to some people. Okay, so I pretty much like the shape of him. So here's his little mouth. And I'm not sure what else I want to do. I don't know if I want to make his mouth open or closed. I think open. I think we should do it open. What's up, LR? LR Design Studios, Lori Sullivan. That's a long name. I like it. Powerful Lori. I haven't been live in a while, so thanks for stopping by. Okay, let me figure out what I want to do with my life. Inflate. Let's do layer. Sometimes layer works. Because I want to make an inside, but I don't think I want to. I could, of course, do a voxel merge and kind of do it that way, but I don't know. Let's see if this works. Layer, I just make like just make the depth of whatever it is. So I can do it that way, and then I'll just smooth it out. That's one way to do it. And then I could take drag and maybe kind of shape it. Sort of like that. I mean, it's not bad, but I think here's the other way that I might do it, and I'm actually not sure which way it would be better. So if I add a sphere, oops. All right, so actually, should I do a sphere or should I do a cylinder? So I have my sphere, and I'll trim it to what I think I want the mouth to be. So maybe something like that. And then figure out what size I want it to be. So maybe something like that. And I make it kind of deep. So that actually looks okay. So now that I have that sphere there, I can take, I think this is the, okay, so this is now the body. Let me rename it, because I've also merged the antennae and the body. So now we have the body here, and these are the eyes. That's the mouth. So that one and the body, and I'll voxel merge. I want to voxel merge a little bit higher. Oops, I forgot to minimize that, or I forgot to hide that. So now we'll voxel merge. And then we have that nice cut. Oop. And we can just smooth it out a bit. Okay, it's actually not bad. I think I might want to put like a little bit of like a lip on the bottom. So let's audition that. Ooh. Actually, maybe a smaller lip looks better. Let's remesh this again. Then hopefully it should be a little stronger. And these corners are looking a little bit weird. So let's see if I can flatten this. That looks a little bit better. I still feel like I want a little bit more lippage. Someone was just asking me, I think on YouTube they were talking about when they smooth and there's like these little artifacts which are annoying sometimes. This is actually okay, but see there's a lot of like artifacts there which can be kind of annoying. I might have to just voxel remesh it smaller at a lower size. Let's see if that gets them smooth. Yeah, sometimes it does that. I'm not sure why. Let's add some clay. And let's see how that smooths. Because it could just be because it's inflate. Whereas clay, I think, is actually adding density versus just stretching. Even though inflate does better round, sort of. Okay, so I think that looks a little bit better. Let's see if I want to flatten out the lip a little bit. Ooh. So I'll flatten the lip a little bit. I wonder if I want to pinch this a little bit. Let's see how that looks. I kind of like the pinch, the slight pinch. And I want to add some clay here too. So I'm noticing add a slight little cheek, you know, so he looks nice and happy and a little chubby. And let's see if I can crease this up a little bit. Keep all this nice and smooth in here. Keep that nice and smooth. Ruby Doo, how are you? Hope everything's good. It's been a long, long time for me doing lives, but I actually had like a little bit of like time off. Like I still have to work today, but I don't have to go in until I have to leave at 2 something. I have to leave at, what time do I have to leave? 2:15, I think. And it's 12:18. I might still go to the gym too. But it's so nice to have like at least a little bit of time to, because like the earlier this week I'm like getting up at 4:30 so I can be at my van pickup spot at 6:15. Oh, do I want to add those? I kind of like it without, maybe. Yeah, maybe we'll just keep it simple. Okay, so I kind of like this. Let's just audition the mouth a little bit. Yeah, I think that's better. Let's audition this too. Just like little skin, you know, little folds, just to kind of give it a little bit of a little touch. Okay, the only other thing that I wanted to do was take this eye, duplicate it, eyelid, we'll put it right underneath the eye. So this one I want to make a bit bigger. Like so. And then I will take the trim tool. Danny D. Ruby Doo, thank you. No, it's been a long time. I really enjoy doing live, but it's been so hard. It's been so hard lately. So it's nice to just have some time where I'm like, well, let me just go live for 30 or 40 minutes. Because I was working on this yesterday at work, and I like the way it was coming out, but I find that I hate doing work when I can't record it, because it's like, I don't know, it's just like, it's fun to record. I'm so used to recording everything nowadays that like sometimes I'm at work and I'm like, I gotta figure out a way to do this and still make it useful and helpful to people. Okay, so I want to give him some lower lids. I don't know if I'll keep them, but we'll see how they look. Oh, I think I like them. So, uh-oh. Okay, good, we're back. I don't know what that was. Danny D, thank you for the kind words and good energy. I'll take it all. I'll take the flames of inspiration. So for something like this, like this lid, Like normally I would just try to smooth it out, but usually it doesn't look, it's actually not bad. But I think I need to remesh it at like 200. So if I remesh it, oh, it still gets ugly. But I think it doesn't lose its shape as much. Oh, you know what I want to try? Actually, I want to try... let's remesh it first. At like 300. And now let's trim it. I want to see how big of a difference it is, because I always do this with my characters. I always like make the lower eyelids like this, but it's always kind of weird when I'm trying to make it smooth. Like make the cut smooth. It's never smooth. So let's see how this works. Okay, that's a much smoother cut. See if I can voxel remesh with keep sharp edges. See what that looks like. If it even makes that much of a difference. Okay, so if I smooth it and then pinch it, let's see if I can still get that nice ledge, which is what I want. I just want it clean. Oh, it's kind of clean, but there's a little dip here. Not sure why that is. Okay, so let's pull it out a little bit with drag, so it's even. Let's just smooth out the rest of it. It's not perfect at all. So it's not perfect, but I think it works. And if I wanted to, I think I can just, if I want to bring it out a little bit more. Oops. Gotta make sure I'm on the right layer. Let's lock this layer. If I want to bring it out some. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to save. And next we will... I love making eyes. Any sort of shape, any round shape. Could you do screen record and do voiceover later? That's actually, I'm not sure. I could. I just feel like it would probably drain my battery too much, but I think it's worth a try. I think I might try to do like a speed sculpt and see how it works. See how the screen record works using. I've actually never like done a longer screen record, so that's actually a good idea. So I might try that. Okay, so let's give him a little tongue. I think I actually have a tongue saved somewhere, which is also something that's I really like, that you can just sort of save. I think I have a tongue in here. I do. And this is just like a sphere that I've just made a crease in, which is easy enough to do, but it's easier still to just drag it in. Oh, why is this thing moving so funny? Do we want turntable? Or trackball? No, we definitely want trackball. I just don't know why it's moving so weird. So I'll make it smaller, and I want to shorten it up a little bit, because he seems like he would have a plump little tongue. Okay, so nice plump little tongue. That looks pretty good. And then I can probably just duplicate these eyes. Oh, I have it locked. So I think I'm just going to duplicate the eyes and call them teeth, or teethies, as I do. I feel like I call them teethies even in Skillshare classes. I feel like Skillshare's, I'm supposed to be more professional, but I can't get away from not calling them teethies. But I guess that's what makes me me, right? I guess those are my quirks. So we'll do a little bend in. Maybe make them a little closer together. What we think about that? Okay, so we got our little spheres in there for teeth. Maybe they're a little too far. Oops. Okay. Han. What's going on, Han? Shout out to Han. I appreciate you being subscribed on Instagram, which is a cool thing. I didn't think I'd have any subscribers. I think I have 3. So shout out to you. I appreciate you subscribing to me and helping to support me do all this. It's really, really tremendously appreciated. So thank you. I think it's like it's only like a few dollars a month. So if you guys want to, you can subscribe on Instagram, and I post a lot of like behind the scenes stuff and like random stuff, also stuff about my life, like other videos and things that I just don't want to really post to Instagram. But I find that it's really fun posting it to subscribers only on Instagram, because there's just some things that, well, first of all, there's some things that like I shouldn't post publicly, so I post them there, like just things that, like, you know, some things you just shouldn't post publicly, but I post them there, and I don't know, it's fun. I like it. I'm into it. I try to post often. I don't think I posted anything yesterday, but I try to post at least one thing each day. I don't always, but I try to. So, Bratislava, Slovakia. Okay, so, and again, shout out to Taramin Art. So I think we can just color this. So let's save it, because it looks good, I think. And let's turn it to a PBR. And let's take everything. Oh, is this the sphere on the bottom? His little cloud. I wanted to give him just like a little cloud type thing. Okay, but I'm gonna minimize it for now. So he's PBR. So let's take everything and just make it. Wait, is that everything? Yeah. So this is white, so I'm gonna save it, and then I'm going to save as and add a new one. So the new one I will color. Yeah, this looks good. I like it. What I do, the reason I do that is because, you know what? I don't know if I should. Sometimes I'm torn if I want to do that or if I wanted to. I guess this is a very small, the size of this project isn't very big. So I could just duplicate everything. It starts with wings. The eyes are the only thing that I want to make glossy. I just like to have a copy that is, let's simple merge all of these. So let's start with wings and just simple merge. And we'll just name it Met Cat. And let's do some lighting on him, actually. So there's the Met Cap one, and then, okay, so let's do some lighting on him. So first I'm just going to turn off the environment and add our first light. I'm going to make it white. Just figure out where I want the first light to go. Okay, maybe something like that. And add light. Okay, so now we have two. Which one is the new one though? I want to go to this one. I'll move this one over a little bit. So now we have our secondary light. Which maybe we'll put in the back. I might want to use a spotlight. Oh, do I want to use a spotlight though? Yeah, let's use a spotlight. And I'm just going to save this. Oh, I should change it to perspective too. So this is orthographic. I'm going to change it to perspective. But I'm going to... Will these look the same? No, they still don't. Okay, good. So perspective and camera, and then I'm going to change it to 10 because otherwise it looks too wonky when it's like that. So I'll put it to 10. Perspective, and I'm just going to add this view because this is like a good main view. So that way I can move it around and just go right back to that view. But I always do my modeling in orthographic. Okay, that's actually not bad. We want to have some light on his little butt here. We'll open the cone up a little bit. But that's actually pretty good. So we have a light on the back. Let's go back to main. So we have a light on the back. The only thing is maybe I want it further behind. I want it softer, I think. And I'm going to change the texture of this too, because that's where we're seeing this bright, and I don't think I want it that bright. But that's okay, because this is just the... Do I want to change it for this one, or do I want to change it for the other one? I think this is okay for now. I'm going to leave it, but I'll change the texture because that affects the way this is looking. See, if I put the roughness up more, then it looks a little bit better. I think I want it like there. I think that looks better. So what I'll do, since I like that texture, is I'm going to go back and I'll change the body. Oh, I did. Oh, I might be on the Met Cap. Let me see. let's go to the met cap and change everything to that. So that actually looks good for everything except for the eyes. So I'm going to get rid of the met cap and bring everything else back. And the eyes, I want to make glossy. So glossy eyes, everything else looks good. I don't know if I want to match all the rest, like the legs. Whoops. So let's take the body. Let's go up here to paint. We'll take the paint tool and I'm just gonna highlight, I'm just gonna grab this color from the body, and I want to make sure, I want to check out the legs and paint them the same. See what I think. Yeah, I like that. And also the lids too, the bottom lids. The eyelids, I'm gonna paint that the same texture. So for in here, the teefies, those can be glossy. And I think the tongue is pretty good. The tongue can be a little bit more on the glossy side. I don't know what, let's see how it is. Maybe just a tad bit more glossy for the tongue. But the difference in the textures is a huge thing for me. Like, because that affects everything. Like it affects the way the light hits it. It affects the colors. But I found that I'd like to do the lighting first on something like this, just so I can light the shapes, essentially, without the colors, because the colors can change things. So I do a little bit of the lighting, and then I do all the textures, and I really like, you know, making this one texture, and then you make the eyes and the tongue like a different texture. That way they stand out from everything else. So let me save this. And for something like this, I think it can have more roughness. Okay. Okay, I also noticed that the arms aren't really touching, so I want to bring those down. Make this nice and big so it sort of moves everything. So I'll bring this down so it actually feels like they're touching. There's no light back there. I'm not sure what other lights I want to add, actually. I don't know. The other thing that I wanted to experiment with, let me save it again. Oh, is there a reason that you light it first before painting it? Yeah, and I probably did mention that, but I'd like to light it in a neutral state. And I feel like once I'm, and the met caps are great. I like to sculpt in a neutral state, so that's why I use the met cap, because the lighting doesn't change, because it's just, everything is just set. And I feel like I can see it more clearly without the lighting moving and things like that and being able to move the lights. So I like it neutral when I'm sculpting, that's why I use the met cap. And I like to light it neutral, so that's why I turn the environment off and start it black, completely black. So I'm adding all of the lighting, and all of the colors are essentially the same. But that's why I changed the textures, because I want to see how the light hits the textures and the shapes, because that makes a difference. And then adding the color, I can tweak the light I can tweak the lighting or tweak anything afterwards. But I think the lighting is important. I think if it looks good, like if it looks good in a neutral state, then usually it'll look good with the colors. But it's just the shapes and the textures that I want to pay attention to without the colors first. And also the colors look different too with different lighting. So I don't want the colors to affect my lighting, because the color will look darker or lighter depending on the lights. So that's another reason. It's sort of similar to sometimes when I do lighting, I'll actually add post-process because that can change the look of lighting too. It actually doesn't look too bad now, but that can kind of change things too. Let me turn post-process off. But I try to make it look really good even without post-process. So then when you turn it on, it's like a bonus. He needs some sort of tail. I mean, he needs like a little stinger, right? It could be a soft cone, or I don't want to add a little. I don't want it to be really sharp because obviously he's cute. I think a sphere. What is this sphere? This must be the tongue. Yeah. So let me name it tongue. Okay. And I think the legs, it's safe to simple merge them. I think. I can always separate them later. But I like to try to condense what I can. Okay, so we got the tongue, teethies. So let's just add a new sphere. Let's turn the environment back on just so I can see. But it's way too bright. I mean, I could like sort of mold it into sort of a sharp-ish. Something like that, right? Maybe I'll make it a little smaller. I don't know if it needs to be a little stubbier. Now let's check the positioning. Do we want it like up a little bit? Or do we want it lower? Or do we want it lower and a little bit more understated? I don't know, what do you guys think? Maybe if it's this way, it starts to look a little bit more like a tail. And it's kind of a neutral spot. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this color, or this texture kind of thing, and just paint it that. So I'm going to go back here and just use inflate. And you know I like to add my see, is that too fat? Something like that, and just sort of smooth it out a little bit. Okay, so at least he has a little bit of a stinger. I mean, he needs a stinger. Although now that I'm looking at it, I feel like I kind of want it higher. sort of figure out what I want to do. Okay, I think I like that better. But I wouldn't be surprised if I'd go back. Does that look okay? See, actually, sometimes it's hard for me. If you just heard me just now saying, does that look okay? It's because sometimes with the shadows, like if I light it, then even the shadows can make it look like I'm trying to look and see if this is perfectly like round, and it sort of feels off, but it's just a shadow. I'm pretty sure it's just a shadow. So sometimes lighting can like kind of make things look tricky. And like I can't tell if it looks perfect, because obviously I want everything to look perfect always. Okay. Okay, good. Either way. Okay, nice. Oh, this is, oh yeah, that's, so at least if I have it like this, you can kind of see it. Let's see my main. Oh, you can't see it in the main. That's okay. We'll do a new. We'll do this one too. It's an interesting view. Okay, so I just made a new thing with the tail, didn't I? So let's delete the Met cap and do it all again. Wings. All right, which one is the sphere? Because I don't want to. Oh, I know, I just can't see it, can I? So that's it. So this is the ground. Actually, it doesn't matter because I'm going to make it all a Met cap. So I'm going to take those, except for this one, simple merge them. So this is Met cap. Met cap floor. So those, I'll leave these together. We don't need them now. Oops. Just unhide all the rest. Okay, good. Good. So I don't know if I actually, so for the environment, let's just turn it down for now and see where we are. So this is with no light. I don't want it that bright. I don't want it that dark either. Okay, so that looks decent. So let's take our image and just move it here. I want to make sure their name is still visible. Okay, so that's a good spot. Okay, so it looks like, oh, you know what else? You know what I forgot? Duh. I didn't do my signature. You know, it's not a Dave Reed cute character unless I have my little thingamajiggies on the eyes. Okay, we'll do some nice spline action to make it nice and smooth. I get so much satisfaction out of that. Spline. I'm also getting a lot faster at doing these. Okay, so let's make sure that they're mirrored, and then we'll validate. And this is actually going to be, well, I'll smooth it first, but it's going to be black, so I don't have to pay attention too much to the details. Just a kind of a general shape like that. Oops, I think I messed it up. So something like that. So let's just make it black, but take all the, yeah, just so we have like a shape. And this still feels a bit boxy. That looks better. That looks better. So what color do we want to make him? I guess we'll stick to these colors for now. I think we'll go with the black first. So he's sort of matte, but we don't, this is actually too black. So I'm going to use like a dark gray. And I kind of want it to be on the warmer side. So maybe something like this, because you never want to go too black. So this is the base gray, so that's going to be the base. So I'm going to add a layer, and I'm going to name the layer yellow. That way, if I need to change it, I can easily change it or get rid of it. Okay, so what's the easiest way to do the yellow? So it looks like it's on the back half and the front half. So let's turn to the right view and select mask, rectangle. Make sure we're on the body. Make sure I'm on the yellow layer. So let's see how this looks. That actually looks kind of clean, cleanish. The only other way I'd be able to get it cleaner is if I upped the vertices. I think. I don't think I can make it. I don't think you can make it really sharper. Even if you sharpen it, I don't think it really works, because it's not really the mask. It's just the density of the mesh, I believe. Okay, so this looks good. I think I can just add a nut, can I? Yeah, I can just add both at the same time. So now it looks like his little butt. Maybe here. Maybe his little back leg as well. Okay, so that looks good. Let's invert it. And then let's find the yellow that we want. think that looks good. So now we'll clear it. So now we have the black. And if I wanted to make this darker, I actually could. I think I can make it a little darker. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this color again, because it's actually not on the face, so it can be a tad bit darker. Yeah, I think that feels good. Okay, so and how I would handle this issue is I might just do din topo. Here's another way I would use dynamic topology, and I'm going to turn it on. I'm using the paint tool, so you can see the little diamond, which means it's on. So I'm going to go with erase. I'm going to make sure that I'm on the yellow layer. I'll make this small. So this should erase cleaner. Oh. Why is it? Well, maybe I just need to move in closer. Okay, it is working, it's just really big. Okay, well, that's good enough. I don't really need it super crisp, just crisper than it was. Okay. It's not bad. I just want to look like it's sort of taking, I want to curve it a little bit so it looks like it's taking a little bit of the shape of that. I could do that here too. Just sort of offset it a little bit to like coincide with this skin fold. And if you actually took too much off, you can just go to the paint tool. Just as long as you have the same color. And you can do the opposite. You can paint in the clear line. Okay, so I'm going to turn dynamic topology off, because otherwise it might affect some other tools and I don't notice, and that gets annoying. So the legs are the same color as this. And maybe we want this. I guess this would be yellow. I guess this doesn't look right if it's black. I guess the eyes might be black. Maybe this is yellow. And then maybe the eyes are like a glossy black. Let's take a look. Does that look too creepy? I can't tell if that looks too creepy. Otherwise, I'll just do... I'll just use my my duplicated paintbrush tool that I just use for eyes and circles. So grab dynamic radius, change this to flat. What did I just do? Oh, I'm still in the body. Eyes. So I'll add a new layer. So the base will be plain. I can color that later. So I'll just name this P1 because I always name the pupils. So something like this is probably cuter than completely black. Oh, today's Wednesday, isn't it? I'm parked on a Friday side, okay. So I think something like that is cute. So maybe we'll just do the eyes like that. Han, I think I'll open Nomad while watching. I don't have time today, but I get sudden inspiration. I love that. Yeah, that's the good and the bad. The same thing happens to me. I actually need to like start getting ready, and I should go to the gym, but I am technically I'm kind of sore from yesterday, so maybe I'll just skip the gym. But I need to eat. I need to eat though. Call time was probably. Let me figure out when they started. I'm trying to figure out when production started work today. They probably started shooting around 10 or 11, and my call time is 3:15. 10, 11, 12. I might get there and eat lunch. Okay, so I don't need to do the eyes right now. Let's just figure out the rest of this. So for the tongue, we'll do something like that, a nice little cute pink. For the teethies, we'll just do a white glossy. You know they're already textured, but sometimes I just accidentally retexture them. But that's okay. Everything looks good. These are white, but I feel like they have a slight warmth about them. Actually, they look kind of cool. But we'll do them warm. We'll add a little bit of We'll do something like that. And the tail, let's make the tail black. Okay. Maybe we'll make these white. Give that a little color too. Okay, so these dots, these colors, do I even want to add them? I'm not sure. I kind of like them, but I'm not sure. Okay, so oh, I see some areas that need smoothing, because y'all know I like a smooth mesh. So it's always good to just look around, make sure nothing needs to be smoothed. I think everything else looks pretty good. See a little bit of ribbing there. And that's probably from before when I was doing the mouth and I kept remeshing. So sometimes you get those little ribs. I don't want to go over the paint because it'll smudge the paint. It'll smudge the paint job. Okay, so now let's add. We'll just have a new layer, name it darker. So I'm gonna grab this yellow color and I'm just gonna make it darker. And I'm gonna paint a little bit in here, I think. And I'm gonna use my copied smooth brush. So smooth without any intensity is great. So I'm just going to smooth this out now. And you'll notice, like I always say, this is sort of similar to what ambient occlusion does in the post-process. But I like to do my own post-process. Because I like to make it look as good as I can without post-process. What are you doing, cat? And actually, I probably should add a little bit of orange to it. That would actually be nice. But I'm not going to get too crazy. Well, let's add a little bit of... Okay, so let's paint around here a little bit. It's essentially just adding like shadows, like ambient shadows and things like that. Why are you trying to get rid of my, why are you trying to push my mask off? This is my mask. She's always trying to ruin something. I guess it's in her nature. That actually looks cool. That actually looks real cool. I'm gonna take a picture of this. Let me turn my light. Oh, wait a minute, I can't turn my light on now? There we go. I'm gonna take a picture of this and I'm gonna post it on my Max roof. Oh, nice to hear. Dave, I just started using Nomad 3 weeks ago and I'm already learning a lot from your channel. So thank you very much and cheers from Berlin, Germany. Shout out to Germany. I haven't been to Berlin. I've only been to Munich. München. I think that's... Sorry for my pronunciations. Shout out to Germany. Shout out to Max Roof. EJP, hi. Just quick question. How big are the file sizes for Nomad? Will my iPad easily get full because of them? Well, I've both my iPad, my first generation iPad Pro and this iPad Pro, I think are 256, and they don't really take up too much space. Like I have a lot of, let me save this. I mean, I have a lot of sculpts. It's hard to know. The files are big. Like anytime someone asks me for an STL, when I export it, the files are big. They're between like 300 and a gig or something like that. So, but also my sculpts are big. Like I have very detailed sculpts. EJPs, cheers from the Philippines. Nice, I love it. So the files are big. As you can see, I have quite a few files on here. Very detailed stuff, including like all the Ninja Turtles. So I have quite a few files, but so I have 256 gigs, and right now I'm at 100 gigs. So I've used less than half. Yeah, so I've used less than half. So I mean, they are pretty big. Nomad Sculpt is 50 gigs. Procreate, 30 gigs. Chrome is 9 gigs, which I don't know why Chrome is so big. Photos, GarageBand, which I don't even use. So yeah, the files get pretty big. But I have some like millions and millions, like heavy files. So I'm not too worried about it. If it ever gets too full, then I'll just offload them, and I'll just put them on an external drive. So I don't worry about it too much. But yeah, the files are they can be quite big if you do a lot of detailed work like I do. Okay. Do we want to add, oh, you know what might be cute? If we take paint, then topo, turn that on. Let's see, sometimes it's fun to add like little details. Oh, actually I can use my paint thing. Like things like that, like little details, or even here. But I usually like to paint a little, maybe I'll use the yellow, but like lighter. Something like that. Just kind of cute. Inside the mouth, oh, this is probably the darker layer, isn't it? That's okay. So darker, I'm gonna grab the color of this. Oh, do I want to go brown or do I want to go with a deep reddish, maroonish? That's probably the move. Add a lot of roughness because I don't want anything shining inside of the mouth. So I'm gonna solo this layer so that I don't accidentally paint on anything else. I'm gonna take it off. Dentopo, as I was saying, sometimes I always forget to take it off because it does add density. It does add vertices. So it adds to the count. It makes the file bigger. It makes the file heavier, but it adds nice clean details. So sometimes it's good to use when you need those extra details. Okay. That looks pretty good. So now I'm just gonna smooth this out with my clone smooth tool with 0 intensity. Okay, I think that looks good, pretty good. And if I want to go super depth, I'll just paint darker and just do some right in the middle. And just smooth that out. So that'll look like that'll add some more depth. Okay, unsolo it. So for the eyes, I do need to make these, I need to remesh the eyes higher. So I'll remesh them at 300, I think, or 250 or so. And let's just see how it looks with glossy black. P1. Okay, that didn't quite work. So let me go back to the eyes. And let's see what happens if I subdivide. I usually subdivide twice. I think that's the sweet spot. Yeah. That actually might have been perfect. What do we think? Do we like those? Or do we want to, let's add a new layer. Do we like them bigger? EJP, thanks for the answer. Please never stop making these beautiful sculptures. I appreciate it. And definitely no plans to stop because I am completely, oh, it's 116. I'm completely obsessed. And I just find it so much fun. What do you guys think? The smaller eyes or the bigger eyes? So these are the bigger eyes. And these are the smaller eyes. Oh, I guess I can just do this, right? Bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger. Maybe the smaller, huh? And I could probably add some color in here. Let me add a layer above. I feel like they would be like an amber sort of color. So if I add some color here, let's lower the intensity of the paintbrush. Oh wait, this isn't glossy, is it? When I paint over it, it needs to match the gloss. The glossiness needs to match color. Another thing I forgot is you don't want to have symmetry on, but that's okay. I'll just delete that part of it. So let me use this. Why is it not smoothing? Okay, let me smudge it a little bit. Maybe I need to smudge it. Let me take symmetry off and erase this. And then lower the opacity. So that's kind of how I would do it if I was going to add color. But I would also need to add some black, I think. Because if you do add it, then you kind of want there to be a pupil. Pupil kind of situation. Something like that. Let's go back to that really light orange. Yeah, looks okay, but I didn't spend the proper time on it. So if I actually wanted to make the color, a better way to do it would be to use the selective mask, make the circle with the selective mask, color it black, still having the selective mask, and then reverse the selective mask and then do the shading, and then add another selective mask with the black pupil in the middle. That's the better way to do it. But maybe I'll do that in a different video. But I want to just smooth out his eye here, because I don't like him when there's crispy like that. It looks better with a little bit of a smooth blur. It looks a little bit better. Oh, actually, or I could just do din topo again. With black. Oh, why am I paint din topo? Oh, heavens. I probably should have just done this with I wonder if I can use din topo and this. It's probably better, right? Oh my god. Why would it look like that? That's bananas. Yeah, that it really doesn't work. Okay, good to know. So I'll do one more pass in an effort to make this straight. Okay, I think they're straight enough. So let's take a look at it with post-process. And let's change the background color. To something a little more festive. And since we changed that background color, let's add a new light. Let's make it a spotlight. Okay, I want the light to be here. Something like this, I think. And I kind of want to tie in a little bit of this green. I don't know how, I don't know if that's going to work, but let's try it. So it's a little bit of a pale green. Oh, that looks kind of cute. Cone angle. More intensity or less intensity? More intensity is actually not bad. Greener. Maybe not too green. Kind of like that. It gives it a nice little touch. Let's get rid of these lights. And let's get rid of the background color, the background image for now. So we can just focus on our little character here. $125. Oh, what time do I have to leave? 2:15. Yeah, no, I think this is good. I don't want to push it. Another cool thing that I can do really, really quickly. Make this darker and actually first I kind of want to I don't think this is going to work. I want to put some shapes on there, but I'm not going to do that now. I don't have the time. But I do want to add, I'm just going to add a layer to the sphere. And I'm going to darken up a little bit underneath him. Again, this is like manually adding shadows kind of thing. Okay, maybe I'll make it a little bit darker and put it really darker right underneath where he is, or she. And then go back to my smooth. And just smooth all of that out. Oh man, I don't have symmetry on. Symmetry always does that to me. I always accidentally turn it off when I need it. That's okay. So I'll just smooth all of this again. Okay, so that's nice and smooth, and I can lower the opacity of it a little bit if I think it's too dark. I actually don't think it's too dark. I think it looks good. Looks a tad bit dark. So I'll turn the environment up. Out there. Okay, looks great. All right, I think that's it. Bull, thank you. Yeah, I like the soft green, like the soft muted green background. I like that too. Another thing that I can add in post-production, post-process is sometimes I like to do the vignette. Can make it a little bit lighter. The vignette also can make it look good. Is there anything else I want to do in post-process? Tone mapping, color grading. No, I think everything else is good. Turn the render resolution up. Save. And export. So I'll export as 4K. Always save first before I export it. So save, and now export it as screen as well. Why are you taking so long for screen? So another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off depth. I'm going to turn off vignette, and I'm going to save it as 4K because this is probably what I'll use for the eventually for the thumbnail of this video. And I don't want the vignette because I want to be able to move him over to the left and then put the text here, and then I can add the vignette in Photoshop and it makes it easier. But again, I have to shout out, I want to shout out Taramin Art because this was my inspiration. So I want to make sure I shout out Taramin Art. Go check them out. And I think he or she does these like physical sculpts. So they're not 3D, they're physical. All right, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. And also I'm gonna take a video of where I put my mask because the cat made me move my mask. But I think it's cool. And I'm gonna post that in my subscribers on Instagram. So subscribe on Instagram if you want to see all the behind the scenes stuff and more about my life and more about 3D and everything. All right, Ruby-doo, pleasure. Shout out to Ruby-doo, shout out to Max Roof, shout out to Bull, Shark, shout out to EJP, repping the Philippines. Shout out to Max Roof, repping Berlin, Germany. And shout out to Danny D. Kangri and LR Design Studio, Lori Sullivan. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.